fucking hate notepad things. They piss me off. I'd rather listen to a crappy mic than a notepad. Hi, this is mak001 and I'm going to show you how to use my paint tester, or what to use it for. I'm not going to be double clicking it. I'm going to be running it from a batch file, although you can double click it. I'll probably put the contents of the batch file up on my site. So and if I wasn't connected to the internet, it would spew a giant error, but it would still start up. I'm gonna minimize that. This thing right here, is the settings. The bot API to use is how it decides to generate the first file you create. So if you select PowerBot, it will generate a skeleton for PowerBot. The settings pops up every time you load, and I'm just going to exit out of it. This is the code frame where you do almost everything. The file menu, there's a new. That's if you want to start a new project. It does the same thing as when you open the program. Save and save as saves it. Open opens a pre-existing saved project. Exits just like you would if you tried to click the X's on the code or the preview frame. The edit menu has import, which will allow you to import external Java files. So if you wanted to import an external already existing Java file from your workspace, you can. Open a closed file, I will cover that later. Close all, we'll close all the open tabs. Settings, we'll pop this thing up again. Manipulate variables will allow you to manipulate levels and XP of a skill separately. And reload project I'll show you that later, but it will reload a project from the last save. The help, under the help menu, will pop up this. It's basically this video in a text form and a little more detail in some things. The about will pop up this thing. It just tells you why it was made. The site will pop up the index of the site that you downloaded this of. Not the downloads page, but the index. The credits will be like this, and this link will bring you to where I found the Java highlighting code. And you know, it's important to give credit where credit is due. Speaking of credit, the base of this was taken from Infidel Ziesel. Now I'm going to show you it generating a PowerBot file, the script file. I will just name this main for the sake of for the lack of a better name. And as you see, it has all the correct imports. It generated this. The setup will run whenever it's started. So yes, we'll initialize any variables, and the onRepaint will just act like the onRepaint, except with this. I'm gonna close out of this and open a closed file. As you can see, it appears right there. Now if I click open, it will now be open. So I'm going to exit out of this, do new project, and open the other one. Open a pre-existing one. As you can see, it opened up and it already painted on the canvas. That's because I already had the on repaint filled a little. Now you can change things in here. Let's say I wanted to make the test down here, or the text that says test down here, black. I could just change that to black and save it, and it will magically turn the text black. So yeah, you can edit it and do cool stuff with it. You can see that I have the mouse, or a fake mouse class to simulate the bot mouse so that it will follow the mouse. Now if I were to delete all this and do reload the project, it will pop up this. I would click OK to reload, and this will pop up saying it was successfully reloaded, and I can scroll back up and it will still all be there. I'm just going to change that back to blue and save it again. You can also use mouse listeners to listen in rectangles. So if I wanted a button where that text was, I could just make a mouse listener listen for a mouse click in that rectangle and go from there. I think that's pretty much it. If you have any suggestions or bugs, please post them on my site under the suggestions and bugs tracker.